This is a really entertaining circus. Twitch streamer Hassan played Assassin's Creed Shadows on his channel, and he disclosed the fact that it's a promotional ad. I don't know why Ubisoft decided to choose someone as polarizing and controversial as Hassan to promote their game. Former Blizzard developer and anti-woke activist Grummz said that Ubisoft threw a lot of money on terrorist platforming streamers like Hassan, and yes, he did actually platform terrorists. He even compared them to the Straw Hat Gang from One Piece. His uncle described him best.
You're not living in reality. You're totally detached from reality.
Elon Musk said Hassan is a fraud, but then corrects himself, saying that a sellout would be more accurate. What's with the backpedal, Elon? And this all culminates into the official Assassin's Creed social media account replying to Elon Musk and said, "Is that what the guy playing your Path of Exile 2 account told you?" This is in reference to Elon Musk paying someone to max his Path of Exiles 2 account, where he streamed the game and people realize, wow, this guy sucks. Mr. Who's the Boss covered that whole saga in his tragic tech fails that need to die video. And in another 1-2 punch, Grummz replied with an article talking about how Shadows isn't a hit, but then the account replied with, "Our game is out." This is in reference to the game that Grummz kickstarted, received $600,000 in funding, but still no signs of it ever finishing, even after 8 years of development. He also recently got caught in 4K using the company's Red cameras for making fetish videos, but believe me, his fetish side hustle is slightly less embarrassing than the amount of dick sucking he does to Elon Musk. Frankly speaking, if you ask me, you're all clowns. It just so happens that one clown hits way harder than the other, or at least until Tencent comes in to back you guys up. But hey, it's still a very entertaining fight nonetheless. Keep it up! The ratio of the official Assassin's Creed Shadows account towards Elon Musk and Grummz are very entertaining. But that's not the end of the story. Nobody pays Elon Musk to play Path of Exile 2. Nobody also asked if he was the best top player, and yet he tried to cheat the system anyway. And for what? For bragging rights? Why are you defending him on this? Asmongold called him out for faking it, and in response, he leaked his Twitter DMs, exposing that he has editors that edit his videos. Oh no. And he also removed his checkmark. Petty move, but okay. That whole hoopla just exposes how much of a clown Elon is, and yet here you are kissing his ass. Even if your $600,000 8-year in development crowdfunded game is finished, it's not. This amount of ass kissing towards Elon is frankly more disgusting than your fetish video side hustle, where you use the company's Red cameras to film them. These are the real shills and grifters. Hassan is a shill, but so are you. You seriously told people to support Twitter X, sign up for Twitter Blue, tune in to SpaceX programs, and buy a freaking Tesla? Why? Because people are hating on all of them? There are perfectly good reasons to hate on all of them. No, that does not justify the vandalism. That still doesn't dismiss the many criticisms people have to all of them. To say that it's not organic is just plain wrong. And if your haters are doing anything that crosses the lines of the law, you know who to call. Oh wow, Hassan blocked you, Elon. Great job. He does that all the time. He's a clown too, but he's an entirely different kind of clown. The guy had real-life terrorists on his stream and said that Luffy from One Piece would be proud of them. I think his own uncle described him best.
You're not living in reality. You're totally detached from reality.
This is just utterly embarrassing for all of you. All of you are clowns in this circus, including you, Ubisoft. You got bought out by Tencent. But hey, it is undeniably very entertaining, so keep it up. The clowns of the Assassin's Creed Shadows kerfuffle are the people that I have covered in the past, except for one. Mark Kern, aka Grummz, the shameless anti-woke activist and Elon Musk shill. Recently, he got exposed in 4K having a side hustle where he makes fetish videos from a company that he started using his mother's name. Look, he can make whatever crappy fetish content he likes, but not while using the company's Red cinema cameras that cost $10,000 body only, or $100 per day rental. Where did you get the money for that, Mark? From the backers of your own crowdfunded game? You're supposed to finish that. It's been 8+ years and $600,000 are going down the drain. You really have to ask yourself how much money that was supposed to be used for the crowdfunded game that he wasted on his fetish side hustle. He admitted to not working on the game for 2 years due to health reasons, and he didn't inform his backers that that's what happened. He bought a $3 million tour bus for his last game, Firefall, and was allegedly fired because of that. The sins of Mark Kern Kern are far too many for a weekly hoopla video like mine to cover, just like the rest of the clowns who are beefing over this mid-ass game, including the company itself, whose executives like to have meetings in strip clubs. So I'll just cover one of his cringe takes. Do not mess with gamers. We're forged by endless boss battles against impossible odds. We do not give up. We do not stop. We are the Terminators of the culture war. Putting aside the cringy gamer theatrics, nice of you to compare the gamers to the mindless robots of freaking Skynet. What, you don't like the human resistance? Or is it because that's what the woke SJWs would have compared themselves to? I think John Connor has something to say about that.
You're unbelievable, man.
We still have plenty more Assassin's Creed Shadows clowns. This person is playing Assassin's Creed for the first time simply because of that roast towards Elon Musk. That was a good roast, but I am not tempted to buy Assassin's Creed Shadows. I played Odyssey and I find it tedious and boring. I still prefer Ghost of Tsushima, and I doubt that Assassin's Creed Shadows is going to change my mind. And yet this person said this. Never really cared about games like that. Then why are you buying? I'll buy it either way and keep it for the future because I'm petty and I hate billionaires. You do realize that buying this game means you're giving money to Ubisoft, a company that is run by other billionaires. I guess you didn't pay attention when the Ubisoft scandals happened. But in case you need a refresher, they had meetings on strip clubs. Not exactly the most professional environment for all the female workers there, and that's only just scratching the surface. I think this is a case of, I don't care if Ubisoft wins, I just want Elon Musk to lose. I personally don't care whether either of them wins or loses. They're both absolute clowns in my eyes, and so is Hassan and Grummz. To Ubisoft's credit, I did enjoy Far Cry 6 to its completion, even though that game is mediocre and way inferior compared to the rest of the games, but it definitely wouldn't be as enjoyable of an experience if I didn't play it for free through my jailbroken PS4. After all the clowns fighting each other over this one mediocre game that surprisingly had plenty of positive receptions, let's reflect ourselves on the state of the industry. I think the overall worst thing about the whole Assassin's Creed drama is the fact that there are thousands of people out there who will buy their slop to own the chuds and then later complain about the state of the industry being dog poo. Well, the state of the industry is dog poo, but the fault does not lie on gamers buying crap games. Gamers still buy good games, and yet the industry is still crap, and buying good games do not guarantee the next game will be good. That's not the gamers' fault, the industry is just filled with terrible and incompetent people. Could this be considered self-harm? You bought the game. I mean, that's fine if you did, but by your logic, you also contributed to the crap gaming industry. Either way, it's just a mediocre Ubisoft game. Who knows? You might even enjoy it. Plenty of people do too. I played Far Cry 6 to its completion. It's pretty mediocre, but I enjoyed it nonetheless, especially when I don't have to pay for it when I played it on my jailbroken PS4. My advice is, don't feel guilty buying crap games. In the end, it's your time and wallet that gets wasted. The industry is screwed no matter which game you buy. Buying good games do not guarantee future good games, and buying games in general will not support the developers. In an industry where game studios and developers are being thrown around like a ping pong ball, gamers are not to blame for ruining the industry. The industry is to blame for ruining themselves. Seriously, the state of the entertainment industry is pretty bad. There was once a time where I was genuinely excited about the new stuff coming out, whether it be new innovations in technology, a brand new blockbuster movie with amazing visual effects that wow the eyes, or a slick-looking game that I can play for hours and hours on end without interruptions. What happened to those days? Technology is not only getting less impressive, but they're falling apart left and right. Media is filled with either mediocre slop or absolute garbage. What happened to the exciting new technologies and amazing entertainment media that I have yearned for so much? They are still here. No, seriously, I still get innovations of technologies that impress me. I still get movies that wow my eyes with not just the general aesthetic, but also the action, the stunts, the visual direction, the technicalities, the raw emotions, the minimalistic storytelling, and the sheer amount of gratuitous nudity, body horror. I still get slick-looking games that I can play for hours with deep and interesting characters while having tons of fun emotions and tears. I even get amazing series with compelling storylines, intriguing characters, or even just all-around dumb, mindless fun. There's definitely garbage for sure, but I don't have to watch them or play them. I can just consume what I enjoy the most and ditch the ones I didn't enjoy. Sounds like a great deal to me. Anyway, let's conclude this debacle. All this drama circus towards Assassin's Creed Shadows amounts to what appears to be a game that a lot of people seem to enjoy. Yes, really, there are plenty of people who find this game pretty enjoyable and even innovative at times. I was surprised that the current Metacritic score is a 6.0. I expected a 3 or a 4, and the Steam reviews are pretty positive. Or at least at the time of the screenshots. Granted, this could be because the game just came out for a couple weeks, and people are still playing the first 10 to 20 hours of the game, which in Ubisoft games tend to be the best parts. I love the first 10 hours of Odyssey, but the moment I hit the 20 to 30 hour mark, I find the game tedious, boring, and a lot of the elements are just discounts from games in the past, including Ubisoft's own games. I suspect that Shadows is gonna be the same old slop, and I've seen reviews that indicate that it is the case. Starfield was the same thing too. First 10 hours were great, the next are just disappointingly tedious boredom. The game did get some Japanese officials and Shrine owners upset, but I'm not gonna rally behind them to dunk on Ubisoft, because Ubisoft already dunked themselves when they sold a quarter of the company to Tencent. If you ask me, you lost the moment you are rooting for any of these clowns to win. But hey, even clowns can still entertain in some way or another. The real winners are the people who didn't engage in the drama to begin with, and just enjoy the games for what they are. And yes, Assassin's Creed Shadows could be that game, but personally, I recommend playing the criminally underrated Rogue. You get to play as a Templar. And that's all for the video today. Thank you all so much for watching. If you made it to the end, here's a cat. Before we close this video, huge thanks to all these wonderful sponsors. You are all fantastic. If you want to see your name among these legends, then check out the links below, just $1. And you have supported this channel a lot. Seriously, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you all next time.